The Vatican says you engaged in corporate dissent and flouted the Church's teachings. Do you accept that?
Absolutely not. I have no idea what they're talking about. Our role is to live the gospel in relationship with people who live at the margins of our society, with the hungry, the poor, the ill. And if that's flaunting the teachings, I have no idea what they're talking about.
Well, your organisation, Network, was singled out for criticism. You stand accused of being silent on the right to life and gay marriage, among other things. You can't just ignore the Church's teachings, can you?
No, and we don't ignore the teachings of the Church. So, but the piece that since they haven't talked to us, they don't actually know what we do, but they inferred something from something. I don't know who they were talking to, but it wasn't us. What we do is we advocate for the needs of those who live at the economic margins of our society. That's our mission. There's a lot of things we don't do. We don't work on capital punishment. We don't work on the issue of abortion. We don't work on education. We don't work on space travel. We don't work on a lot of things. So the idea that because we don't work on something, we're not supporting the Church, I don't get it. It's not true.
You do lobby on healthcare, and I'm wondering how much do you think this report is tied to your support of President Obama's healthcare overhaul, which the bishops perceived as supporting state-funded abortion?
Right. I think there's a strong connection between the two, this report and our healthcare position, because we did the healthcare work in March of 2010. The report was filed in June of 2010 with the Vatican, and the position of the bishops had been opposing healthcare reform as it was structured. We said, no, there's provisions for no federal funding of abortion, which maintains the status quo. And additionally, 34 million people in our country will get access to healthcare who do not have access to healthcare. We said it's both and.
But you publicly split with the bishops, so do you see this in a way as payback?
Well, we did have a different political assessment. We didn't split on faith. We split on politics. Well, in the United States, in a democratic country, if you follow our politics, everybody splits some way or another on politics, not on faith. We're one in faith.
You've also suggested that this is about the male hierarchy being scared of you. How?
Well, I think the fact that we do have a male hierarchy, they don't grow up. Grow up, it's the wrong thing to say, but they don't develop their leadership skills, a lot of them, with strong women around. So they don't know how to deal with the consequence of us following the Church's teaching. So Pius XII told us to get educated. Vatican II said get even more educated and get engaged in the world, and we did, and they don't know how to deal with the consequences. So I think that many of the men who have been in a male-only setting don't know how to deal with our straightforward conversation, with our willingness to engage in exploring where the edges of our faith are, where the new discovery of the gospel in our world is.
Others have suggested this is a clear case of misogyny.
Oh, right. I've heard that. I've heard that critique. Because I don't know what's behind it for all of these men. I couldn't attribute that to them, because if I did, I'd be doing the same thing they're doing to us, saying a definitive statement without any data, having talked to them.